So I just had to answer the phone. Now I'm going to tell the story, and if they stop me from telling the story, which is all true, everything I say, and I wonder what reason they stopped me. I don't know. A lot of people don't want me to talk about this. But so I was trying to help out the lady who was living next to around the corner. And well, this happened later, but she started having a lot of fires, small fires in her house, like the stove. Because she was forgetting to like oil the pans when she put the food on. So we had to go there, and the fire department would go there. One time I went to visit her, and she was having some kind of a mini stroke, I think. Her face was frozen. I was very worried, so I called the fire department, and they came and took her blood pressure, and it was sky high. The guy said her blood pressure was higher than anyone's he'd ever seen before. By the time I got there, her physical appearance was back to normal again. And the fireman said, "What did she look like when you first came in?" I said, "Well, kind of like the way Kirk Douglas had looked years later." So now, I moved there probably about a year before 9/11, and I can still remember that day, clear as a bell, 9/11. My brother called me and let me know this was when the first plane hit the tower. And I turned on the TV and I saw her at the second plane. And so this had never happened in my lifetime, anything like this, or in the whole country's lifetime. Pearl Harbor, I mean, that was pretty bad, but this was even worse. I was talking about it to a few of the neighbors. The lady who moved, I was talking to her about it. And, now, at this time, the guy who called himself Mike hadn't moved in yet. Mike looks an awful lot like Peter Particular. And someone else, I think I just saw on the internet maybe a week ago, said that yes, he was living there, that was him. By the time he got there, the landlady with the kids who had helped me fill up the mattress had moved out, and another elderly couple had moved in who were acting as the caretakers of the place. Now, before Mike, or if that was his real name, moved in, I had a cat, and they had a cat, and I had a mouse problem too, but after the cat, I had a mouse problem. The cat wanted my attention every minute of the day. I mean, constantly, she just needed my attention. So I put her out, but I put her with food too. I made sure she had food every day. One of my neighbors took the cat in. I didn't just let her out, I did make sure. And my other neighbor who had their cat was keeping an eye on her too to make sure she was all right. And I was going to Stop and Shop for my medications. I was going to a lot of bookstores and record stores in the area. I had a lot more money in Hadley than I had in Fall River because the rent was only 1/3 of my pay from Social Security. So I spent a lot, and I bought a lot. I bought a CD player. And so Mike moves in after 9/11. Now my family would come down and visit me too. Sometimes they'd stay overnight. My brother Russell came to see me a few times. And the guy that was behind the lady, the lady who lived next to the elderly lady I used to try to help out had a severe depression problem. I used to see her sometimes too, not often though. But the guy in back of her used to give me rides for money, be for money to like the shopping mall across the street, stuff like that. It was the strangest thing. I'd get a ride from him, and he'd be talking and everything, but after you gave him the money, his eyes became hallways, dark hallways, and he didn't say a word. So, and I could hear him screaming through the wall of my apartment sometimes late into the night. Now, I used to go to the mall a lot at the beginning. I had a doctor a little ways down the street from the mall. I don't remember if he was on the side of the mall or on the other side of it. It was kind of like a highway, 2-lane highway. And then Amherst was on one side of the apartment building, and then Northampton was on the other. Northampton had much more stores. It was a much bigger downtown area than Amherst had. And for a while, when I first moved in, I was going to Sunderland to the, it was a soup kitchen. And they had clothes there too. They had a lot of clothes, and they had a soup kitchen. And I remember one time, a lady who I was washing dishes with at the soup kitchen said something so strange to me in a violent way. And the weird thing about it, even weirder than what she said, was that there was no reaction to it from anybody. A room full of people, and there was just no reaction to what she said. So I was going there for a while, and we went to the Christmas ornaments by bus one time. And I stopped going there. And after a while, I had my apartment all furnished and everything. I was buying a lot of books about jazz. I was listening to a lot of jazz music. And so I was, let's see what else was going on. A few times I walked right by Emily Dickinson's house. I was surprised the first time I saw that her house was in Amherst, right next to Robert Frost. I saw the place where the garden was out in back. It was a red brick home, 2 stories high. And Northampton I went to a lot. The stores and stuff. I went once to the museum in Northampton. And then I had a doctor and a therapist. The therapist I only saw once. A doctor I saw 1 or 2 times in another town. I don't remember the name of the other town, but so things were going along, and I wasn't getting along too well with the people in that town due to a townhouse situation. I can make it through anything, and I made it through that series of adventures, not adventures, just some of it was brutal. So Mike or Peter Pleasant, is that Peter Particular, not Peter Particular, it's another person, moved in, and his favorite weapon of choice was a bow and arrow. He also, I gotta start it again. Wait a minute.